Good morning, everyone. This is Jaco speaking. Just before we start, I see we still have a few participants joining. Just to test the audio and the visual, I just want to know if you can see my screen and hear my voice. That will be appreciated. In the meantime, please take a minute or so to grab yourself a cup of coffee or a glass of water and enjoy the session with us. We're just going to give a minute or two. I see the participants are joining, so we will start within a minute or two. Okay, so I think we can start. Once again, good morning to all the attendees and my colleagues. Thank you for joining the session. Now, today's session, we're going to have a brief look at data management, but not just normal data management, but data management that we can pretty much employ to everybody's needs. We all create data. We all need to manage those data and to make sure that it is protected and our IP is also protected. So let's have a look at what today's session is about. So before we continue, just some of the feedbacks is if you want to ask a question, let's use the chat panel. Me and Mawet as my co-presenter will then answer the questions at the end of the session. So please feel free to add your questions in the chat. The session will be recorded. So if you missed something or one of your colleagues missed the session, don't worry. There will be a replay that will be shared with everybody else. So about myself, my name is Jaco. I'm based in South Africa. I'm responsible for all the senior technical activities in the English Africa region. And my colleague Motas will introduce himself as well. Please, Motas.
Hello, Jaco, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Mu'taz from Dubai office, and I'm working as a trade technical manager for the Middle East. I'll be joining you with Jaco today. Yeah, go ahead, Jaco.
Thanks, Motas. Yeah, so let's jump in. So before we start, let's have a poll. Are you a current SolidWorks user? Please, Hugo, if you can launch the questions for us, please. So the question are you a SolidWorks user or is somebody in your company using SolidWorks currently?
Yeah, I will expect that all the users here are SolidWorks users. Really? There are some answers are no. Okay, let's see
Which
that.
which is a good feedback.
Okay. Even if you're not good user, so it's fine. We
Yeah,
appreciate your feedback. Yeah.
that's correct. Thank you. Okay, it seems like we had a good response. Well, okay, so almost 85% of our current guys attending is existing SolidWorks users and about 20% not. Thank you very much. Thank you for that poll. So let's jump in. So let's take a quick look at each of these SolidWorks history. Where does SolidWorks come from? Where are we currently at? And what does the future look like for a SolidWorks user? SolidWorks has been helping companies take advantage of technology shifts since our inception, which was in 1995. We released the first 3D CAD software to run on the Windows PC. And this opened up the door for every engineer to have access and the capabilities to be able to do 3D modeling. However, in 2000, when email was the standard for business communication, SolidWorks introduced e-drawings as a lightweight communication tool. This revolutionized the way the industry communicates using 3D models, and it's still being used today as a tool. But over the next few years, SolidWorks invested in technology to bring simulation and data management to the masses, to pretty much everybody. From there, SolidWorks invested in applications that would allow companies to take advantage of 3D data inside of engineering. We introduced tools for technical documentations, electrical design, plastic and mold design, quality and inspection, and manufacturing to be able to cater the need for all our customers. Today, SolidWorks is connected to those teams and helping customers of all sizes benefit from the cloud. From a small design team of 1 or 2, with no IT budget, or to large companies with complex IT infrastructure. Everyone can benefit from the cloud, and it starts with 3D Experience SolidWorks. So before we continue, Hugo, please send us another question. So how do you currently, you guys, how do you currently manage your data? Is it on a premise of a PDM or PDM solution? Is it a 3D Experience cloud services, or is it Windows Explorer? I see some good feedback. Okay, so okay, thank you very much for that. So if I can share the results with you, so most of some of the users say they use on premise PDM solution. Some of this, which is quite surprising, that a lot of users use Windows Explorer, and no one used 3D Experience. So we're going to explain to you why this is beneficial to either use PDM or 3D Experience on the cloud. So today's client and the data set we're going to use is a miter saw from one of our clients. And the focus is going to be on the design office, the purchasing department, manufacturing, and some of the marketing and sales. So the players for my part of the presentation will be the manager, the project designer, which his name is John for this, marketing, and then one of our customers or suppliers who's an external party of this. So this is going to showcase how we're going to communicate internally with our customers and with our suppliers. So let's start off with our designing team. As usual, I would just open up my SolidWorks and start modeling my part. That is going to be part of the bigger assembly I'm going to make use of later. Standard feature SolidWorks functionalities, creating a part, creating a drawing of it, and I can now save this. So this is where the magic starts. Instead of saving back to my local drive or a local server, I can actually save this back into the cloud. Very secure repository where I can access my files from any time and any device. I don't have to have a CAD. I don't have to have a specific machine. I'll be able to access this. So as I save this off, you can then see in my preview, I have a new interface. I just want to see, there's a lot of chats. I just want to test, can you still see my screen and hear my voice?
All good from my side. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
so you can go ahead.
Cool, thank you very much. So now I have an integrated Windows portal that shows me from my CAD side. I have access then to my 3D Experience files. So my files in the 3D Experience portfolio. So how does this look like? I get a notification from my manager that I see she has a task for me to do. So when I open up collaborative tasks, I have an overview, a vision of to see what my manager needs me to do. If I open up then my collaborative tasks, she has granted me the task of adding an end cap to this assembly. Within the collaborative tasks, it gives me a date, what tasks I need to do, by when it needs to be done. And with a simple drag and drop from to do to in work, I've started moving the production on this part. I then can add a note to my manager, say I'm busy with this, or I've started with this. And by default, the percentage of movement on this part has shifted to 10%. So from the 3D Experience portfolio, I can open up the main assembly. So I've interacted this between the platform and my assembly or my design window. And from here, I can log out this assembly. So the reason for this is for concurrent work, teamwork. I don't want my colleagues and peers to be accessing these files while I'm busy with it. So I'm just going to lock it out to myself, and the lock has been successful. As you can see on my screen, I have a fully integrated user interface that shows me which files has been opened by me, which files has been locked by me, what revision or version do I have, and do I have the latest version that I'm working with. So I don't have to have a separate window where I can control these data. So I would just bring in my yoke assembly, my yoke part from the part I've been busy with, from the assembly. I'm just going to add it back to my assembly. So there's the end cap that my manager asks me to add to the assembly. And with the advanced mate assembly settings, I can use the interactive settings that was designed with that part, which is called clever mates or intelligent mates. So it just fit into position over there. So now all I need to do is just update the drawing accordingly. And my interactive indicator shows me which parts and which features I still need to open or activate. So all I'm just going to do is open up this drawing, reattach my bill of material balloons, and it's done. Saving this then back to the cloud. I can put a comment, I can change the revisions, I can change the versions. But most importantly, I can have a reference. So I can drag now this assembly back to my collaborative tasks. So once the assembly has been done or completed, there's actually intelligence behind this. It's not just a collaborative task that has been moved from one tab to another, but there's intelligence built into this. My manager can now goes back in and say, okay, this task has been done, and she can see all the references files that is linked back to this task. So very interactive. But I want to communicate now back to my supplier. So this is my simple part, but I want to ask my supplier or the end customer, let's say the customer, is are they happy with the file currently as it is? Is this what we've discussed over the phone? So there's the different formats. I can then decide in what format I want to share this with my customer. And once I selected, I want to use a part feature as this, it's going to allow me to choose what settings, what access do I want to use the end user to have. How do I want to share this? And I can then a specific note. So then I can ask them, please take a look at this part. Are you happy with the design? Is there any changes you need for me to do? So once I've done this, she will get then a notification, taking it right up to the cloud. So she doesn't have to have CAD on her machine to be able to open, zoom, rotate, view this part that she needs to fit into assembly or she needs to manufacture for that matter. So I ask her to give me some comments. So using the functionality features and functionalities inside the platform, she can take a simple screenshot of the part, give me exact feedback what I need to do. And in my platform, I will get a notification that there has been feedback from Carlotta that there's some features that needs to be changed. So as you can see, as we start building this, you can see all the comments, features. It starts building a history. So we can keep track of all the changes that needs to be made, all the revisions, all the versions. Everything is right there. We can have a track on. So let's have another question. So what version of SolidWorks are you guys using? Okay, some good answers. Okay, so okay, thank you very much. So as we can show the results, I think majority of our users is 2021 and later version users, which is very good news. Thank you very much. So I got a new task from my manager now that asked me I need to do a simulation test on this part before I can actually do these changes requested by Carlotta. So with the markup, my manager showed me where my friction point is going to be. And this is the minimum and maximum allowance that I am allowed to. So now I know before I can do the changes, I want to do a simulation on this sub-assembly to see if I change this part according to the need, will that be suffice to take that strains? So I've created myself a sub-assembly and I'm going to run the simulation needed to see if that part will be able to take that strength and strains that was requested before I can incorporate those changes. So I'm happy with the simulation feedback. And now I'm going to lock out this part and I just want to change this. So very interactive, directly from my window. I'm going to change the revision because I'm going to change some geometry in this part. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to make this model a bit lighter. My simulation proved that it is allowed and I can do so. So I'm just going to add some ribs, some cutouts, and maybe change this radii for a better design. Back into my main assembly. And as you can see on the preview, it has been updated, the revision has been changed. So now I can either scroll down to my yoke or I can search for it and I can simply change the maturity stage of it. I'm happy with the design. So I'm going to freeze this so no other user or colleague can change this part in assembly. And as you can see over here as well, those revisions has been updated accordingly as well. So this is my portion of the presentation. I'm going to hand over now to my colleague Moetas, and he's going to take you through to the rest of the presentation. Over to you,
Thank you.
Moetas.
Very interesting description about the capabilities of today. Webinar about the data management. Really interesting. And, you mentioned a lot of things, like, for example, look, I mean, that simple option that you have it, I mean, the users, they have it today for 3D Experience SolidWorks, along with the 3D Experience data management. This is by itself is a great value because, I'm an old user of SolidWorks and being using Gwyn's Explorer for a long time, that maybe doing the design changes, a multi-user environment, collaborating together in the same project, this is going to be a nightmare to know who's working on which product, which file, or which design, right?
Exactly, Moetas. What I really loved about this is two things. Is one, like you said, you know you're working with the latest version and the latest model. You don't have to wonder if this is the latest and greatest. And secondly, I don't have to change interface. It's the same window. I work in my same environment. So it saves a lot of time and effort. I don't have to go and search for a specific, am I write the revision? Do I have to minimize what table? So very good, very great tool. And I use it really a lot.
Yeah, and also, the way that you grab the drawing and you put it in the task, and even by itself, I mean, having a task management from early beginning, from the basic capabilities of SolidWorks, this is really a big value. I mean, today, for example, we remind ourselves, yeah, I need to make that design, I need to complete that drawing, I need to, I don't know, revise that design, but having a task management from the basic level of SolidWorks and all of these capabilities, including SolidWorks CAD, this is really a big value, right?
Very powerful. Agreed.
And also something really I like to highlight that having a comments, we are always sending like a one line comment in email, but with the 3D experience along with SolidWorks, this is going to happen each and everywhere in the platform. So wherever you are, you can comment on things. You can comment on documents, I don't know, posts, design, whatever it is. And you can do that directly, by the way, from
And
SolidWorks interface. Yeah.
and the power of it is I don't have to have the software firstly, and I don't have to be on the same version of software. So
Yeah.
interactiveness is far and beyond better than it was a few years ago.
Perfect. So let's continue. Let's go ahead and see after the designer that he did the changes. And what about the managers? We believe that without the 3D experience, we might have an issues that the manager that didn't have SolidWorks CAD, right? I mean, they cannot view the designs. And even if they can view it, even with the current capability today of e-drawing, as Yaku said, we introduced e-drawing back in the past. But what about the commenting? And what about finding who's doing what? And which file's gonna be in work, which file is gonna be in release and ready for manufacturing? This is not gonna be only for the manager. Of course, we will be taking an example for managers, but this is gonna be applied for any discipline within your organization. So let's see Megan. And Megan just viewed the designs and she wanted to explore the same product structure that being created in the CAD. And believe it or not, this is the same product structure while building component by component SolidWorks. Now, non-CAD users will be able to view it with the 3D experience SolidWorks. And furthermore, she can go ahead and filter. So this is going to be like the product structure side by side with the visualization of the assembly. And, we have a lot of capabilities here in terms of data management that we can filter, for example, that, hey, I wanted to see all the component that being created with specific users, like in this case. And all of that will be categorized by colors. And, for us, for SolidWorks users, the only way to do it is with SolidWorks Visualize, if you know that. But here, anyone in your organization can do that. And also you can filter more. I mean, for example, hey, I wanted to see only the components being created by that specific designers, or maybe only the components that being in Frozen, because as a manager, I wanted to focus only on the component that I need to revise or maybe to review, and then maybe push them to release, or maybe give them back with the feedback to the designers. And here we go. We can filter and sort all of that as managers, and we'll be able to see that. But hold on a second. I wanted to make sure that what could be the differences between revision A of that yoke and revision B of that yoke, or I don't know, revision A.1 or A.2. The point is that managers or non-CAD users today with the 3D experience SolidWorks, they will be able to compare between components, between parts, between designs, between drawings, and they will be able to see that comparison. I mean, for example, here, the orange color indicates the areas that we deleted material or maybe removed material. And the blue colors indicated that the areas that we added material. I mean, the designer added material. So here he will be able to make a section view. He will be able to make an exhibit view. He will be able even to comment. And once he finds that, yeah, the design is perfect. So why not? Let's do some organization stuff. I mean, let's do some approval stuff directly from the same platform, from the same user interface. And one more thing that does not require any installation, and it works with any operating system from any device from anywhere. And maybe something to highlight that till now, all of the previous capabilities comes directly with SOLIDWORKS. I mean, when you purchase SOLIDWORKS license, you will get all of that and even more. We are trying here to highlight some of these capabilities, some of these features. And as I said earlier, that, in everywhere in the 3D experience platform, you can leave comments. So for example, here, Megan mentioned the designer and say that, hey, that's the great job. So that will send a notification to the designer with the feedback from the manager. From here, maybe we can get some scalable capabilities. So for example, we introduce you to the tasks, right? But what if that there is a project manager in the team that he wanted to organize all of these tasks in terms of projects to see, for example, the capacity of the team, to see what are the projects that needed to be highlights, or maybe the task that needed to be highlights. And even that bring a dashboard with all the number of tasks that need to be done, or maybe has been completed, or maybe at risk of delayed, for example. So you will get all of that dashboard with project management rule within the 3D experience platform. Again, this is not embedded, not included capabilities of SOLIDWORKS license today, but again, this is scalable capabilities that you can get if you want, if you have that need of project management capabilities, along to be able to see the detailed tasks. And as Yaku said, for example, he will be able to grab one of the drawing into a task. That will eliminate the time for the manager to search everywhere to find the deliverable, right? And here, for example, the manager will be able to see a complete Gantt chart for all the stages of the project. And furthermore, he will be able to see the content, what could be the deliverable out of that projects, and all the members and people are contributing in that project. Who's the owner? Who are the members that being contributing within that project? So great capabilities that you can get it again with just being a part of that 3D experience. SOLIDWORKS. So this is the manager. What about the marketing? So, the good thing about the 3D experience SOLIDWORKS that we have tools and applications and services for each and every department in your organization. So for example, today, we have the ability to integrate SOLIDWORKS Visualize along with the 3D experience platform. So the marketing guy, he wanted to import the same assembly. And this is, again, another benefit of using the same single source of truth. So the designer completed the design, and the marketing worked on the same design at the same time to create marketing material. So he would be able to import that inside of SOLIDWORKS Visualize. And of course, using SOLIDWORKS Visualize, he will be able to add appearances, for example, changing perspective and adding the focal length, or what we call a depth of field, inside of SOLIDWORKS Visualize. And, at the end of the day, he wanted to save that. And again, single source of truth, which means that we needed to save that in the same location, which is the 3D experience platform. And here is the value of the data management. Single source of truth, well, whatever that you are using a PDF file, Word file, SOLIDWORKS files, and even marketing material, or maybe SOLIDWORKS Visualize projects, whatever it is, you can save them in the same location. At the end, you can export even something from SolidWorks Visualize. And let me tell you a tip here, because we have two ways to have SolidWorks today. The first one is SolidWorks Desktop that we all know, right? And we have another rule or another package we call it 3D Experience SolidWorks. And if you get 3D Experience SolidWorks Professional, guess what? SolidWorks Visualize in that package will have SolidWorks Visualize Professional. However, if you get only SolidWorks Professional Desktop, you will get Visualized Standard. So the difference between Visualize Standard and Visualize Professional, that Visualize Standard, you will be able to have only static standstill image. But with SolidWorks Visualize Professional, you will be able to create animations, turntable, all of that stuff that can move. I mean, anything related to movements. And another tip that you can take it out from today's session, that with SolidWorks Visualize, you will get the ability to export very specific type, which is GLB. And GLB today is like, I don't know, a native type of animated 3D model that Microsoft Office can accept. Of course, I'm speaking about Microsoft Office 365 or 2021. And with that, you will be able to save the GLB and insert it into your PowerPoint file. The good thing about it that, as a designer even, you wanted to head today to a meeting to describe your designs, describe your product, or maybe the features that you added while designing the product. And we all use PowerPoint, right? And the good thing about GLB out of SolidWorks Visualize, that you will be able to do that, insert a real 3D model that you can rotate it, having from different perspectives. I don't know, make animation, for example, as a turntable, like in this illustration. Great. So let's stop for a while and have a poll. So, Hugo, can you support me to publish the poll, please? Okay. So, guys, we wanted to know, what do you design? Are you into industrial equipment, transportation, high-tech, medical, other? Most of the users of SolidWorks today, they are into industrial equipment, but nevertheless, we still have a big portion also in transportation with the evolve of the electrical vehicle and the other stuff. So great. Yeah. Thank you for your participation. So let's share the results. Okay. Yeah, as expected, I believe most of the SolidWorks users coming from industrial equipment, and other industries as well. I would love to meet you in person and to understand more about your industry. Okay, let's continue. Thank you, Hugo. So what we have seen so far, I mean, we have been speaking about a lot of capabilities. And we were always referring to these capabilities as cloud services, right? So what are these cloud services? And also Jaco introduced us to SolidWorks history, starting from the CAD 1995. And, let me say it this way, before July this year, this was the packages of SolidWorks. So we were able to use standard, professional, or premium. If you remember, we have been always recommending, for example, professional because of the toolbox and rendering, right? And we have been referring premium package when we are speaking about some capabilities of simulation or routing, for example. After July this year, we introduced something, we call it cloud services. So when you get any of these packages of SolidWorks, by default, you will get cloud services. What are these cloud services? Those cloud services consist of two main foundations, two main layers. The first layer, we call it collaboration. And the second layer, we call it data management. This is the topic of today. And we have been described, for example, a lot of capabilities about data management. And let me show you that in a little bit more structured way. So in collaboration layer, for example, we have, I don't know, more than 20 apps. And in the data management, we have more than 15 apps. In total, we have, I don't know, more than 40 apps comes with each and every license of SOLIDWORKS. And this is by itself is a big value. But as users, how can we take it farther? How can we take it to the next step? So normally we are dividing these applications in terms of functionality and capabilities into maybe four categories. The first one is the administration. So how can we activate the license, for example? Because the license by default, it will be located in the cloud, right? I mean, the way that we organize the license is going to come from the cloud. So for activate and access, we have maybe three main applications. The first one is the 3D dashboard, and the second one is the 3D Swim. The dashboard is the way to organize your data. And this data could be for specific department or could be for specific projects. And for share and markup, and I believe Yaku today give us a good demonstration about what does it mean share and markup. So while the designer wanted to share some information with the supplier and customer, if you remember that. So you will be able to share data through behind the scene. There is an apps responsible for that. We call it 3D Drive. But at the end of the day, you as a users, you will be able to click share, and then the other side, which is the customer or supplier, will be able to receive that file. But behind the scene, they are using 3D Drive. And to be able to view that file, we are using 3D Play. Store and revise. We have many applications for store and revise. The first one, for example, if you remember, Yaku mentioned that, yeah, we can look and unlock, right? We can update a revision, right? And the manager, for example, he can push the file from frozen to release, right? So all of that behind the scene, we are using these type of applications. And if we even wanted to go for more, let's say, scalable capabilities like change action, issue management, we have the ability to do that. I mean, it's going to be included within the new license of SOLIDWORKS. So for us as a users, we know that maybe, yeah, this is a new knowledge for you, but yes, in fact, it will bring a lot of capabilities, right? For all the users that they are using Wins Explorer, is going to be the best choice, or maybe the direct choice for them to go for SOLIDWORKS with the 3D experience data management, right? And we will be with you. I mean, during the implementation, or maybe what we call it adoption, we know that maybe you will be in a different scale. I mean, we have small, medium, and large companies. So we will adopt that. And even with step by step, we will guide you through the way, first from share and markup, for example, and how you're going to store it in the cloud. And even if you wanted to the advanced level for change action and issue management. You know, the point is that we consider that these two roles, I mean, the collaboration and data management, specifically data management, is the gateway for all the other domains inside of 3D experience, SOLIDWORKS. Whether you wanted to go for simulation, I mean, I'm speaking about advanced simulation. I'm speaking about nonlinear dynamics or electromagnetic simulation, or whatever multiphysics type of analysis. Or maybe we wanted to go for more, I would say, advanced level of governance or manufacturing. I don't know, like engineering bill of material, like manufacturing bill of material, like plant layout, like robotics programming. Or maybe we wanted to go for another scalable solution for designs, maybe for creative designs or 3D pattern shape creator. Those are a little bit advanced type of capabilities, plus marketing, for example. So to be able to combine all of these domains together, the goal, I mean, the ultimate goal for us is to bring you to the limit of digital twin. So we are hearing a lot about digital twin every day. So this is your first step for the virtual twin to combine all of them together by starting from the right data management, from the right platform. And I will show you a case study from Renault Group about that. Let's watch the video.
A 3D object with as much detail as the real thing. Thanks to high-powered algorithms, we can determine a car's handling, aerodynamics, and even test onboard safety equipment. No need to make a physical prototype for every stage. Its digital twin is a perfect substitute. A vehicle is a minefield of calculations. You have to check that everything works as planned. That brings us to part 2 of our twin. Engine settings, ADAS, everything can be done with the twin. Seated behind a driving simulator, test drivers put cars through their digital paces on virtual roads. Safe, affordable, and fast. An ideal addition to road tests. Part 3. Manufacturing. The digital twin is also a true-to-life virtual factory. Organizing production, sequencing operations, monitoring each part, everything is tested and confirmed via the digital twin for optimal production output. Last of all, vehicle monitoring throughout its life and even after its initial purchase. From design through to updates and retrofitting, everyone works together over the cloud. The real-world vehicle and its digital twin constantly learn from each other and feed into each other's design. And as with the dawn of every new era, we will look back on today in a few years' time and wonder, just how did we do it before we had digital twins?
Okay. So I think by this, we reach it to the end of our webinar today. Hopefully you get something new and it was something interesting. Please, if you have any question, do not hesitate to leave your question in the chat or the question area, whatever it is. And of
Thanks,
course, yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
sorry. Thank you. Thank you for that insight. I think while everybody is typing their questions, what really stood out for me was from a managing point of view, association by colors. I can, with the data management, I can see where my project are, in what life cycle or what state it is, just by the colors, and I can filter by that. So I don't have to ask the production manager anymore, where's this part? What is happening with this part? What is this delay? Everything is in a dashboard. I can just click on it. I can see which part is production, which part is sitting for manufacturing purposes, which is a great tool, I think, that we can utilize in the production environment and manufacturing.
Yeah, so those are all out of the box capabilities, as you say, Diaco, and even we can configure some of them. Like, for example, if you wanted to add your own attribute, we can do that. I mean, for example, to sort and filter by make or buy. I mean, which component being made or maybe manufactured in house, or maybe which component should be ordered by procurement guys. So all of that can be done within that filter or maybe visualization type of sort.
We have a question. Is there a limit to filter 3D data?
Yeah. To filter the 3D data, that's the point. Maybe I just answered the question. So it depends on your attributes. Whatever the type of attributes that we can have it to the 3D model. And then, of course, yeah, we can filter it using that attribute.
And we can use the 6Ws. Who created it? When was it created? How was it created? So not just by filtering by questions, but this we can even granularly filter by when, how, what type of product can be filtered as well.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, another
So
question related to the type of access. So can we have we set different level of access? Yaku?
sure. So as the dashboard manager or the owner of the project manager, I can decide who gets access to what file. So if I assign a specific file to Moataz and I don't want Hugo to see or have access to this, I can simply just send that file directly to you, or in my dashboard, the working dashboard on a specific project or specific folder, I can exclude him so you don't have access to that. So he will not be able to see or to act, I can or I can give him view access if I want to give him view access, but if you don't want him to give him editing access. So the control is endless. I need to set up my project and my people according to what I want the outcome to be.
Yeah, thank you for the answer, Yaku. We have another question from Kenny. I am new to the 3D Cloud. Where can we learn more how to use? So,
So
we have multiple areas, right, Yaku?
yes,
So I would suggest my.solidworks.com, and the other one is the EduSpace. So do you
first,
have any other things? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and I think first of all, contact your value-added reseller.
Correct.
They will
Yeah.
be the first point of contact.
Mhm.
You can always reach out to us, like Moataz also indicated, on the social platforms, LinkedIn Learning. There's so many platforms. I think my first approach will be linked out to my value-added reseller.
Great.
And another
Yeah.
question, is the cloud safe and stable? Which
Okay.
which we get a lot. We get that a lot.
Yeah. We can have a dedicated session to answer that question. But if I wanted to answer that in a simple way, that we, as the Soul System, we are a software house. We develop systems, and you're gonna be. I mean, you are an industrial facility, you are a company or manufacturing facility at the end of the day. So the specialty of the security from software perspective should be related more to the software house, right? So of course we do have the maximum ever level of security. So as I know, we have more than 5 levels or layers of security, and I forget the number. We have more than 10 certificates, different type of ISOs, NAS. I'm not special, of course, at these type of certifications, but even we are running critical tests on our servers, and we own the data centers. I mean, there are a specific sister company in the subsystem called the subsystem outscale that responsible only for all of these data centers. So if you need more information about that, please reach out to me after the session, and yeah, we can even I believe if this is a common question, it's better to have like a dedicated webinar speaking about the security of the 3D experience platform or the
I,
cloud in general, even. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
there's another question. It's regarding existing data from Windows Explorer moving back to the cloud services, and the move over process. Will it still keep the files linked? So there's several options of moving files from your Explorer interface. Um, as you can see from your CAD window, which I think is the best option, is from your CAD window. When saving it out, instead of saving to your Windows Explorer or to a server, you just save it off to the cloud. All the links, interactive links and sublinks will be kept intact. There's a few options. I think the simple drag and drop option will also be suffice, because it keeps the integrity of what we have currently. But my first choice would be to work through your CAD application. Then you will know that link will not be broken.
You
Any
know,
feedback and comment from your
yeah,
side?
yeah, cool. I believe you touched the best and recommended option by opening the file and save it. I would recommend that option for sure, because we will never know if the original file has a broken reference or not. So if your original file has broken references, then you save it, so the broken reference was still there. whatever the data management are using. But also we have different levels. I mean, if we are speaking about gig type of files, like, I don't know, we have 5 GP of files, so, or maybe 1 GB or 2 GB. So in this case, we have batch save. I mean, we have a dedicated tool that enables you to, with one click, to save all of these files with subfolders, with main folders, on directly to the 3D experience platform. And also we have a third level of data migrations. You can speak with your local researcher about that. So to advise you which way is the best.
That was my next comment, because I know that one of my value-added resellers, they have a function that you can contact them and they will assist you if it's large amounts of data. But some other customers, they would prefer, let's do it project by project. Doing it this way, it also gives them opportunity to clean out unnecessary old data. I always say, I have this saying, garbage in, garbage out. So try to get as clean as possible data into the cloud, and then you will not have performance or linkage issues. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
It doesn't seem like that, no.
I think that's it for today. Yeah.
Thanks, Motas. Thank you for assisting. Thank you, guys, who attended this sessions.
I would like
please
to thank
feel free
Google
to contact us directly if you're not sure your added value reseller are. We will gladly assist. Also, this, like I explained before, this recording will be live for sharing within a day or two. So just keep a lookout for that, and please be available to share this to your co-peers, and look out for our next session, which I think will be about security of data management.
Yeah, I think so. I would like also to thank Hugo, who put everything together, our marketing manager, and invite us all to be here today during this webinar. Thank you, Hugo. Okay, so it's time to say goodbye. Thank you, everyone,
Bye-bye.
for your time today. Bye-bye.